Georgia, Georgia.
There we are. Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We hope y'all all had a great week. CW, what you been up to, brother?
I've been trying to stay busy, but we've been having some awful weather, so I've been stuck in the house. We've had rain and rain and rain and cold and freezing and rain and cold and freezing. I've been doing some inside stuff, reloading and cleaning brass and straightening up housework, stuff like that. But today I get out to the range, so today was pretty good.
Good deal.
What about
man.
you, Hillbilly? How you been doing?
Hey, buddy. Oh, man, I've been doing awesome. Doing pretty good getting along with 1 foot and 2 crutches, but I've been doing pretty good. Just it gives me time to edit some videos and stuff like that. So I've been stuck in the house the last few days, but still just having a good time. So what have you been up to, Gene?
Oh, not too much. Working. Yeah, that's it. Past couple weeks. I did get a chance to go to the FFL yesterday after work, and I picked that up. Got a couple shorts on it so far. Very, very nice little product. Emailed my optic company and said what I'd like for a scope for that. So we'll see what transpires. Other than that, man, doing really good and happy to be here. Walter, what you got down there?
Muted.
You gotta unmute yourself.
All right, there it comes. Finally, boy, it sucks getting old, boys. Tell me. Anyway, I had a good week. I had several videos that went out. We did the Free the Few this morning that's the Rumble Only series where I'm liberating a bunch of orphan bullets and taking them to the range and shooting. We went to the range yesterday. I got another new firearm ordered this week, so I got to remortgage the house now because it was a Smith & Wesson. Geez. So did some casting today. Yeah, did some casting today. So today was a good day. It was a good one for me. How about you over there, Chris?
I tried to go to the gun range today, but the range was packed, so I just turned around and came back home. But I got a lot done around here. I got some of my reloading videos filmed and a couple cleaning videos I've been wanting to get done. So I've just been sitting here editing and working on that stuff today. Other than that, I am glad to be here and going to have fun tonight.
I caught that
Mark?
308 short. That was some good looking brass.
Yeah, I got that's been my project today. So I got all my test rounds loaded up, ready to go. So hopefully tomorrow morning I'll have the gun range to myself for a couple hours.
Nice.
Turn it over to Mark.
Hello, everybody. Been a wonderful week. Was looking forward to this. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I did get one good video out this week from a range trip on Tuesday. I ended up taking off the day from school because I had to run into town and get my new CCW permit renewed. And it could have taken, 10 minutes. It could have taken 8 hours. It ended up taking 10 minutes. So I had the rest of the day to go to the range. I got to run quite a few things, tested out some of those bullets from the mold that Walter sent me, tested out some 45 Colt, just had a real good day. And when I got home, I found a new mold on the doorstep, a new mold for a gun that I don't have yet, but I couldn't wait. And I cast some bullets on Wednesday night. They came out pretty good. I might powder coat some of those tomorrow. And this evening, I put together some 32 Smith & Wesson long, just so I had a little something to put in the snubby that I've been carrying. So looking forward to a good evening. Hoping we're going to have a nice chat. I guess we'll run it right back to Jamie.
That was a good video. I like that video you did.
Thank you.
What mold did
the
you get?
range video?
Yeah, it was a combination range video and a little bit of goofing. I got a Lee mold for 41 Magnum. I
Okay.
don't have it yet, but it was a mess when I got it. I cleaned it up real nice and spent about 45 minutes to an hour. And about a half an hour into it, I got some decent bullets. And by the time I was almost done, I was putting out some real nice ones. So I got about 40 or 50 good ones to powder coat and have on hand.
You got gas checks already?
No, it's a flat base.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
Good deal. So, we got a couple of topics tonight. Y'all know the weather changed here, and before we came in, we were all talking about deer hunting and all that kind of stuff. And I think some of us are looking past deer season to the point where we get together and shoot some long range stuff coming up. And obviously, that new rifle on the wall back there behind Gene, he's got designs on some long range stuff. So, have topic number one, and I'm missing comments, guys. Y'all forgive me. If you got a question you want us to answer, put something in front of it, like some question marks or something, or some kind of an emoji, and we'll try to make sure we don't miss any questions. You guys on the panel, y'all help me look for questions and stuff from the side chat, because that's why we're here mostly. So personally, I'm getting a lot of Black Friday, pre-Black Friday sales in my emails. And let me see if I can share one with y'all. Which one should I share? Are y'all interested in scopes or bullets?
Yes.
Yep.
All of the above.
Okay. Well, let's
You
start.
about to need one with the other, don't you?
Let's start with this one. This is Precision Reloading, and they're having a sale on Burger bullets. Of course, it might be over with by now, but I'm interested in see if I can find it. And y'all can see the prices on the screen, right? I saw them before we went live. Ain't that the way it goes? I probably went past it. Not interested in loaded ammunition. I don't know about y'all. See if I can find it. Anybody see anything they want to look at? Holler at me. I'll find it in a minute. Let's just go with, I don't really want
A bunch of long, pointy bullets. Don't they have any round nose 9mm bullets that I can use?
No.
Yeah, they're all sold out of them because that's what everybody buys.
Yeah.
153 grain long range target hybrid bullet box of 100. I was most of the time when I look up Burger bullets, they're in boxes of 50 and the prices are about that same price. So I I thought that was a good deal. Maybe I've been misreading it. Maybe I've been looking at boxes of 100 all along, but I thought burgers were much more expensive than that. So, maybe I need some Lapua brass and some burger bullets
High end. What do they got in 30 cal, Jamie?
for match
308.
match bullets.
Yeah, match bullets for 308.
Ooh, this ain't so bad when you think about it. 215 grain match hybrid box of 250, 176.91. Match grade bullets. Let me try to find something not quite as heavy. 308, you need a lighter bullet than that. Or am I wrong about that?
I tend to stick with 168s, 165s.
Now I'm seeing a lot of 6.5 bullets now that I'm looking for 30. Here you go. There you go, Chris. Box of 100, 168 match VLD. $66.22 in stock.
Woo!
Yeah. So even
sense.
hand loads and reusing your brass and all that, it's still going to cost you about 75 cents a pop. But you want the best when you're shooting long range. Sectional density of 0.253, ballistic coefficient of 0.498. Now, I think, Chris, the Hornady bullets are uh, have a higher ballistic coefficient.
The ones I picked up are the Sierra Match King 168 boat tail hollow points.
Well, you're going to have a hard time finding anything better than Sierra. Sierra makes good stuff. Did we lose somebody while I was gone? No,
Nah, you just change the layout.
I didn't. I just came
Nah.
back from sharing
Yeah,
the
we
screen.
lost somebody.
I didn't touch it. Twerk me. I'm on the phone.
I had it like that, I think. Maybe it was like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like that.
Yeah.
And so when I came back from screen share, it moved us to that other layout.
Oh.
So what do y'all think about burgers?
They're good bullets. They're just a little costly.
They are.
That's like I told you, a while back that was the only bullet I could ever get to shoot good in my Valkyrie was a burger bullet.
I remember you saying that because I tried to find some
Yeah.
of the local shops I go to and dead ended.
But I wouldn't, being that I know that, I wouldn't mind trying them. And I wouldn't mind trying some of their 308 or their 6.5 Creedmoor stuff. Be kind of worth playing around with.
There's the
Yeah.
Rebel.
I think it's a worthwhile, if you're playing that longer range, out past say 500 yards or so. It's a place where you start to see the advantages of a lot of those boat tail designs and the VLD designs and the scant ogives and all those fancy long descriptive words.
Yeah, see, Rebel says, and those are definitely burger bullets. The bench rest shooters are using those. And Mr. Pollard says the ELD match he gets from Midway shot great.
You talk about those long words and all that, the educated words. You must be watching my videos.
How do you know?
That's where we're learning it.
That's where we're learning all that stuff. Scotsman said he's heard nothing but good things about burgers.
I have absolutely no experience with them. I'm with Fluffy. Burgers are delicious.
Yeah, Woods says you need bacon on them.
Heaven on earth with an onion slice.
I got a couple boxes of 107s that I picked up secondhand, thinking I'd be shooting them in the 6mm, but I haven't even loaded them yet. I'm shooting 105s, and they're shooting really good, so I haven't changed.
So Tommy Boy says 308 go with the 175s over the 168s. That's going to give you a longer bullet. I can see that. And Rune says if you can't get burgers to shoot right in your rifle, try another powder.
Tommy's got another really good comment out there that talking about the new 22 arc, because I am going to I'm going to get rid of that Valkyrie, so I'm going to rebarrel that AR. And I've been watching a lot of stuff on that, Tommy. I'm liking that round.
My only question about it is that I remember when the Grendel was hot and they pushed it to the 22 Grendel, and it kind of never really took off, kind of fizzled. And I don't know what the difference is between the 22 arc and the 22 Grendel, that it's going to make it so much better. I think
anything's going to be better than Valkyrie. Anything's going to be better than Valkyrie CW.
Yeah.
And I just think that those 22s, they're just trying to make them do too much. Trying to spread them too thin, trying to push them too far. I don't know. Why do you need a 90 grain 22 caliber bullet? You know what I mean? I just don't see it.
No, I agree with you.
If it's your jam and it makes you happy, all for it. Great, have fun. But
I just want to get rid of that Valkyrie barrel, so I'm looking at some other options here, and that's just one of the ones I've been looking at.
You looked at the Grendel?
Yeah, that's definitely on the short list too.
It's such a nice caliber. I didn't love it in the AR, but I love it in the bolt gun. I know Mr. Pollard's been shooting it a lot in his AR, and he's having fun with it. And a lot of people
I've been loving those videos.
But it's just such a joy. It's low recoil. The scope doesn't black out. You shoot tiny little groups. It's miserly on powder. You're shooting the same powder charge you shoot with a 223. It's realistic bullet weights. I don't know. I really like it. But I don't have to shoot 1,000 yards. So I'm shooting, a couple hundred yards.
There's the fence, Dad. Thanks for coming by, man.
Those are some long days, but they're still not even half a day.
I hear you. There's tacos and French fries. I'm hungry again. Tactical Fudd loves his Grendel. Yeah. 5 shots and 0.47 inches. What Mike's getting out of his 6mm BR.
Tacos sound pretty good right now.
Yeah, because I couldn't get a half-inch group with a pencil and a piece of paper right under my nose, just stabbing it out of. That's pretty darn good. Like,
Hey, my little brother's not a great shooter. He doesn't practice. He doesn't shoot much. He goes to the range maybe once a year, and not even guaranteed about that. And a couple years ago, he wanted to chip the 0 on his rifle, and I happened to have my Grendel there, and I said, "Here, Sean, take a few shots out of this." And he shot his first group under an inch, and he was smiling from ear to ear. He couldn't believe. He said, "I didn't even try." He said, "I didn't even try. I just touched the trigger, put the crosshairs on, and then we walked down there, and the bullets are all touching." He said, "I can't even believe it." It just
Sounds
the gun
fun.
just shoots. It just shoots.
how come every time you get a good idea, it ends up costing me money? That's what
Spreading the love. It's just spreading the love.
Roan makes up a good point here. He says he shoots 144 grain Lapua bullets in his 6.5 by 55 Swede. And he says at 800 feet per second. I think that's a misprint.
Maybe 18.
I'm thinking probably more like 28. Get sub MOA at 300 yards.
Yeah. It's
6.5,
before.
55 Swede are definitely more potent than 6.5 Creedmoor. But you're doing two different things right there. That 6.5 Swede is designed as a man killer. 6.5 Creedmoor is designed as a paper puncher. Would I shoot a game animal at 1,000 yards with my 6.5 Creedmoor, even though I know I can make the shot? Absolutely not. Mike says the Grendel is super efficient. Yeah, you get a lot of power out of a 6.5 Grendel for the amount of powder you're putting in it.
Yeah, it's 120 to 125 grain bullets with 25 to 30 grains of powder. It's the same powder charge as a 223, but it's
Just
a bullet
about.
that's almost 3 times as much, or 2.5 times as much, and it's like I say, it's very light on the shoulder. You don't get scope blackout with most loads. It's got the same trajectory as a 308, or darn near it. It's just got a lot going for it.
So, Rune, help me out on your velocity there, buddy. Let me put this back up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 800 feet per second is a misprint. And I've never thought to look at Lapua bullets. There's Reloader 762.
Hey, Ronnie. I used to like 120 grain. Of course, I was hunting. Everything for me was hunting. But I used to like 120 grain Sierra Pro Hunters at about 2,800 in my Swede, and it shot them really good. I don't remember half-inch groups, but it was under an inch.
There you go. Meters per second. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. 26, 25 feet per second. We have imperial brains over here, and we're just cursed that way. I'm still trying to figure that out because the metric system makes so much more sense. I mean, it really does. But we are no longer subjects of the crown. We can use whatever units of measure we want, but we still grew up thinking in inches and feet and miles. And go ahead, Mark.
It's just about that long. It's good enough.
You're right, Abigail. It's multiples of 10.
But we tried it. Remember, some of you guys are old enough back in the late 70s, whenever it was, and all the gas pumps were showing liters instead of gallons, and people just complained, and they were having the road signs, the highway signs would have miles and kilometers, and people just going, yeah, no, we can't do this. We're too stupid.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, I got fooled where a gas station had a sign up that said 99 cents. And then below that, it said per liter in the small section. And like, man, I pulled it in and filled up. I'm like, what in the world?
Man, I'm telling you, when I went to Peru that time, they were selling gas in their currency in liters. And what it turned out to be was about almost $10 a gallon U.S. cash money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like California prices to me.
Yeah, I saw it here today for $3 a gallon.
We were up to $7 out here last month. It's come down to closer to $5 now. But
I filled up
No,
yesterday.
Miss Kitty, we don't hate on nothing, hon. We really don't.
I filled up yesterday for $2.90 a gallon.
that's good. I'd love to see that again out here.
Last time I bought gas, it was $2.70 a gallon.
Yeah, we're hovering about 350, 340, 350.
360, 370 here.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's nice. We definitely have it here too, but if you averaged it, I'd say probably 350, 345, 350. So
I hear you,
really good to see.
Tommy Boy said that was gringo prices.
Yeah, I've noticed that, Gene. The further I go east, the gas gets a little cheaper. We're about 320, 325 a gallon here. I start getting over your way. Once you hit Kenton, it starts getting cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, here in Old Lima, it's $2.90 a gallon. Has been that way for about a week now. Hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's good. They just milk us for all we're worth out here in California for no apparent reason. We got some of the cruddiest roads in the country too.
See, that right there surprises me, Andy. I would have thought gas in New York would be a lot more expensive, kind of like California. But I'm glad it's not for your sake.
I bet it is closer to the city, but Andy's not really close to the city.
That's a good thing. Rebel sent me a text. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get that blowed up. Oh, she's so happy too. Look at that. Can y'all see Pawpaw and little Clara? Let me send it to my email.
Oh, wow.
I'll send it to my email.
Well, Hillbilly's got us all beat. He's got a mule that gets 4 oats a mile.
Yeah, that's on a good day.
On a bad day, 5.
Yeah.
That's a shorted mule, though.
The only problem is, man, you got to pack a lunch to go to the next door neighbor's house if you're going to ride it.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope you ain't got a stubborn mule. We had a mule one time. We had a flat tire in the stock trailer. So we pulled aside the road, moved the horses and mules across the road, tied them up there so they eat some grass. We bringing everybody back to the stock trailer after we changed the tire. That mule is a buddy of mine. He got broadside center lane of that road of the highway and wouldn't budge. We were out there pushing on that dude and pulling on him, and he wouldn't have nothing to do with moving, man.
Okay, I'm not complaining about $3 a gallon for gas
Yep.
anymore.
There's a little
No,
reality.
Rune.
No.
Oh, that's bad.
That's a paycheck to fill up your car.
Yeah,
Dang.
but you can drive across the whole country in about an hour and a half. I can barely get to the next California. I can barely get to the next town in that amount of time.
Yeah.
8.5 a gallon in Norway.
Gee.
Ron, we need you over here, buddy.
Yeah. Back in the 70s, when I was just out of high school and in college, we had an exchange student from Norway that was living with us, and even back then, she was amazed about the difference in price and fuel, and that was back when we were paying 79 cents or something for gasoline here, and she was talking about $5-6 a gallon in Norway.
That's a good point too. You think how expensive the premium gas is, but I see a big difference in gas mileage with the higher octane gas.
Hobby's Hobo says in Canada, gas is twice what you can afford, so you just don't go anywhere. There's a lot of that going around, I guess, worldwide.
Yeah. That and the cost of primers, we don't go shooting much anymore.
Yeah, I have a Camaro sitting out there past everything except for a gas station, so it sits here at the house a lot.
Okay, it's time for us to go through the side chat. What are we typing in tonight?
Gas.
Gas or MPG gas works. Y'all are sharing low data. I'm surprised.
He's been a big help. He's helping me with a round.
Okay, now I gotta scroll back up. Thanks, guys.
Bam.
CW Longflight was first. Gas. Paul Loud. Viejo. Bama Dad. I'm going to see Bama Dad tomorrow, y'all. Hillbilly Up. Duffer 426. Harm. Walks Fletcher. The Scottish American. Rich White. Abigail Finnegan. Vanessa Kitty. Corners and Doors. Chessboard. Defense Dad. Ricky Baird. What's going on, buddy? James Pollard, Tim S. Trees are blowing. What's going on, man? Mark Thomas. Georgia trapping and fishing. There's the trapper out there. Kyle. Okay. And Miss Kitty.
Wait till you see what Defense Dad wrote.
That's what I'm laughing at.
Why are we doing this? Andre D'Angelo, Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, Boomsticks Revenge, Tactical Fud, Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy, KFW, what's up, my brother? Tommy Boy, Scottish American, Dwayne 7834, Johnny 1982, Mr. Roon, Mr. Pollard, Tommy Boy, Hobby's Hobo, Dale Pogue, Chessboard, Walks Fletcher, Rich B, and Bobby Barlow, Alaska One Andy, and I think that's everybody. Hillbilly Up, Roland Cole. Okay, did I get everybody?
I believe so.
Why did we do that? I don't know which I like better. What do y'all like better? We got new comments. Let me hide this one. Savage is hunting a CNC bee machinist. Okay. Dang, Bama Dad. Unbelievable.
Well, speaking of pulling my finger there earlier, I don't know if you guys got to catch any of Boomstick's finger pull Thursdays. But they're pretty good.
All righty then. $160 grain, 402.
How you liking that mold, Ronnie? I like mine a lot. I loaded on top of Blue Dot. It shoots really, really nice.
I've got a couple of them of that ilk from MP, a 160 and a 180 90, but I haven't shot them yet out of the 10 millimeter. Only shot them in 40.
I don't think you told them. One's more like a truncated cone, and one's more like a flat, round flat.
The next side in 160.
So it looks like a truncated cone.
Yeah, and it'll do a
okay. Good. It's different than.
And then the other one, the 180/190, is like the 200. Same thing. It's just a little bit shorter on the shank.
Yeah, it looks identical to my 200. It's just a little shorter.
Yep.
Yeah. I got an NOE 181 that runs about 185 or so with most alloys that I use is a solid, and it's a similar looking bullet. But it gets me a 165 hollow point with a big one, with a big hollow point. So it's nice balanced weight.
Yeah. That new one that I got, I just cast it last week for the first time, and it was like 179 for the big hollow point, then 183 for the shallow hollow point, and 187 for the flat point. So good size for the 10 millimeters. It can be fun to go shoot those things.
Yeah, I like 180 a lot. I really do. It's a really efficient bullet for the 10 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I got a 220 coming as I say that.
From MP?
Really?
All right.
Yeah. You want to try some, Gene?
Sure.
That's big bullet for 10 millimeter.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That make my Rock Island sing.
Well, I had bought some 220 hollow points a long time ago, anticipating, testing the water, see if I wanted it. And I was able to get my 29 to almost 1100 with that 220 hollow point. And it was probably 225 as a hollow point. So it was a heavy 220 hollow point. and it shot really good. I was surprised. I was surprised at the velocity I got with that little 3.8 inch barrel, and it shot well. This one is going to be a solid only. It's an accurate mold, so no hollow point.
Let me know how you like it, by my dad. I might buy me one of them.
I've got one. It's real similar to the Lyman 356402 bullet.
Mm-hmm.
About the same size, and they shoot well. They shoot well. They load and chamber in just about anything you want to put them in, and how they perform will depend on your load.
Didn't I send you a 420 bullet, Jamie? I thought I had sent you that mold. Check and see. I thought I did.
Probably. I'll check and find out. I am not happy with a tumble loop design coming out of a 9mm.
That lead 120, that's a nice mold. That's my go-to for my 9mm plinking rounds. And everything we shoot for USPSA. That's the bullet I go to.
Trees are blowing, use one. Gene uses one. Scotsman uses one. I guess I got to have one.
I ordered a 2-cavity by accident, and it turned out to be great. I use it for 9mm, and I leave them fat for 38 and 357 just for plinking.
That's what I love about that size right in there. You can use them for multiple calibers, and I've even sized some of my 3.56 bullets and to 3.58 after I powder coat them, and they run good in 357. Just not that tumble loop bullet. There's no way those things would shoot out of a 38 or 357. Because they're going to be going a lot harder, particularly out of 357, than they would be out of a 9mm. So the truncated cone cycle's good in there?
Yeah. I shot it out of my Glock.
PC bullets generally feed in everything. They're
my little really SIG shoots them well. The 1911 shoots them well. All the 9mm I've got. As CW saying, that bullet nose design just works really well. That that longer truncated cone will shoot and feed just about anything you put it into, and then the performance of the round itself after it comes out the barrel is up to you. Developing the right charge for it, but there are lots of load data around for it too. So
yeah, that's what I'm figuring out, Tommy boy. Let me get back to Tommy boy's. That's the one right there by my dad. That one don't shoot for me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've got it too, and I don't like it.
And Tommy boy says that they'll tumble, and that's the issue I'm having. They're tumbling out of a.
Well, here's my opinion on those tumble loop bullets. They're designed not to have to be sized, so they need full diameter. If you cast some and measure them, they're running bigger than 3.55, 3.56, and if you size them down, run them through a sizer like most of us will do, you're actually taking away from their ability to shoot because you're making them smaller.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key with them. If you're going to run them, you run them out of the mold without sizing them, and you have a shot at them shooting okay. But I'm the same way. I don't really care for them. I don't buy them. I'll buy the same exact bullet with a conventional grease groove, and generally it shoots better for me.
Yeah.
Right.
There's 2 Lee 124s that are tumble lube. There's also a truncated cone version that's tumble lube, a 124 TC tumble lube, and it's worthless as well for 9mm. And probably so much so because, as Brian is saying, because when you size them, you're kind of, to a certain extent, scraping off the sides of those, I'll call
Yeah.
them micro grooves, those little grooves there, and it detracts from their ability to rifle particularly well, I think. But
Yeah, I ran into the same thing. I tried sizing them, and I was keyholing everything with them, and so I made a batch up and didn't size them, and they shot true, but I don't care for the bullet.
Yep.
Okay, Johnny 1982 has a question. So he's got two lead molds, 309 180 and a 309 200. The 200 cast within 1 grain of its advertised weight, but the 180 was 15 grains off of advertised. Same alloy.
that's a lot.
In session. I have the same issue with, I have a 309 180 in a more of a spire point, and then I have the 309 170 flat point that's made for the 30-30. The flat
Johnny,
point
we're
cast more like, it's more in the weight range of 182, 183.
Mhm.
And the 180 grain with the spire point is more like casting at more like 170, 172 grains. So,
Johnny, were they heavier or lighter? 15 grains heavy or 15 grains light? I would suspect heavy.
I'm going to guess before he answers. I'm going to guess it's the 309 180 is casting light, and I've not had any experience with the 200 because the lead mold that I have that's rated at 170 grains is actually casting over 180. The one I have that's rated for 180 is actually casting closer to the 170 grain mark. And I've missed a bunch of comments.
Lee molds, I believe, are clip-on wheel weights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I think Scotsman up earlier had mentioned that if you don't stir your pot and keep the alloy well mixed, then the heavier materials will sink to the bottom, being lead, and the other metals will tend to rise up to the top. So if you're pulling off the bottom, you're going to tend to get heavier bullets, not lighter bullets. So it's not likely that was the situation. If your bullets are light, I'm going to just say it was the mold.
Always stir your pot.
I stir my pot at least every five casts.
I do every 2 because I run a 6-cavity mold. So I stir every 2. Every 2 draws, I stir it.
Yeah, it will make a difference.
I get more consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Much better consistency.
And just to clarify my comment there, and Tommy made a confirmation. You can cast any alloy you want. It's just when a manufacturer gives a weight of their bullet, generally speaking, they will have an alloy that they use to get that weight with. Some manufacturers, like Arsenal, Accurate, will actually ask you what your alloy you're intending to use, because he will cut it to get close to that weight with that alloy. While others like Lyman and Lee and most of the other ones actually will just produce a bullet and say that they tested it with this alloy or that alloy, and that's the alloy that gets that weight. Not to say that you can't use any alloy you want. It's just it's going to be heavier or lighter based on what your alloy choice is. And a little bit. It's not going to be a lot. It shouldn't be a lot.
Yeah. I think 15 grains is a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
If you're talking a 600 or 700 grain bullet, it's not huge. But if you're talking 200 grain bullet. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a big percentage.
Yeah, that's a lot. You can see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
and go ahead, Gene. I'm sorry.
my Lee 120 truncated cone mold, they actually come out at about 127 with the alloy I'm using, and I like it. I like it being just that bit heavier.
Bama Dad, first thing about pouring, especially with one of those 6-cavity molds, you got to get that mold warm. It's going to cast crappy bullets until you get the mold up to temp. And I use Charles Irby taught me how to make
Get a hot plate. Yeah.
a, a mold oven with a hot plate and a number 10 can, one of them big old cans, and a old saw blade, and that's what I use. And I can get my molds up to about 350 degrees before I ever put lead in them, and at that point, you're just about throwing good bullets from the very start. Other than that, keep a good tempo. Don't give your time. Don't get your mold too hot, or don't give it time to cool off. Get that good cadence going and keep it there.
If you watch Walter's and my videos, and a lot of other guys who cast a lot, you see us always say you got to season that mold. And what we're talking about is you got to get it hot and let it cool, and get it hot and let it cool. And what you're doing is you're cooking off all the anything that's on that mold. You can wash it and scrub it, and there's still going to be oils that aren't going to come off. They're going to be either impregnated in the metal, or they're going to be on the metal. They're not going to wash off, whatever. And it sometimes takes 2, 3, or 4 cycles to get them off. And the best way to do it is with heat. And when you're starting out, a little bit hotter mold, not lead temperature, mold temperature, and it's gonna work better for you. And as you season the mold, as you use it and season it, you're going to find that you can probably back off on that mold temperature and still get good bullets, but not in the beginning. Right. You want to get that mold totally clean, all the oils off it. That's why you see in my videos, I'm always hosing them down with brake cleaner. Back on the hot plate, get them hot. You almost get them too hot, so that when you fill them up, that lead doesn't flash over right away, and you're pretty hot with your mold. But it'll cool down a little bit, and you'll find that you're gonna eventually. It may take a few dumps of bad bullets, but eventually you'll get it so that you're not getting sags. You'll get fewer and fewer sags, fewer and fewer imperfections, and all of a sudden you've got nice, crisp, sharp lines. Like, we can all do it. Like even just the other day, a week or two ago, Walter and we show pictures all the time. I'm casting this, I'm casting that. And I said to him, I said, Walter, that looks a little bit round to me. That looks, no. And sure enough, he looked at it again. He says, yeah, holy cow, look at there. And he got it a little bit hotter. And those bullets were crisp, nice, crisp. Yeah. And he didn't even realize it at first. He was a little. Oh,
I was casting. It casted really good, smooth. Everything's going along.
Yeah.
I held it up, shows. Said, "Look at this." He goes, "What the hell's the matter with that bullet?" Oh yeah, look at that. It sucks. So, and that's just because it wasn't hot enough to fill out the cavity properly. So.
We can all do it. So don't. It's not like we're always doing it perfect. Absolutely not. We screw them up, and Walter and I got this mold, and who else got it? MacMan got it too. It was a 454 490, I think. It was a 45 caliber semi-wad cutter bullet, and that's the only MP mold I've ever gotten, or to date, that's given me any kind of problems. And the problems were that I kept getting sags, and I couldn't get it filled out. I got weak rounded corners. It just wouldn't cast a good bullet until I really got it hot a couple times.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm casting beautiful, beautiful bullets.
One other thing, Bama Dad, too, on the actual physical part of running the mold under your pot with multi-cavity molds like this, and I talk about this on my Moldy Mondays all the time, too. If you start with the molds dead flat under the spout and you fill this cavity, you don't want the lead from the sprue from this one to run into the second cavity until you're ready to pour it in there, because that first couple drips will get in there and they'll cool off and get hard on the bottom of that cavity before you are ready to completely fill it. So I start my molds on a slope. I tip the end that's close to me. I tip it up so that when I'm filling this cavity here, the lead's not going to spill out and run uphill into the next one. Okay, and then gradually as I fill, I bring this back down till I'm down here at the end. But I found that if you let the sprue from a previous cavity spill too soon into the next subsequent one, you'll end up with a bad nose on that next bullet. So I start with a little, handles raised a little bit, and then I fill from the far end first, and then as I come in with the rest of the mold, hold it, drop it slowly back down flat by the time I'm at the last cavity. So
I see a couple of new names.
I see James Pugh out there. I hadn't seen James come in. Hi, James.
Yeah, James, and then
Thomas Christie.
Beaver Bear, and I want to welcome him too.
And there's another one that keeps, I can't get it. There's so many comments that just keep zipping by.
That's Kenye Don.
Yeah, that's a name.
Welcome, buddy.
Welcome in all the new guys. It's great to see you.
Yeah, and real quick,
Don, do you live on the Kenai Peninsula?
Yeah,
I want to tell
in Alaska
people coming through on my chat. I put it over there, but the top of my link on my side, I pinned the address to come over to Georgia Shooting Connection. So not everybody can see your text. So if you want to click on that link, then it'll put you up over here. But yeah, Kenye, he's from Alaska. Great guy.
Good stuff. Beautiful country.
Yes, sir.
I just sent some 10 millimeters out there to Alaska for another friend of mine who's deep in bear country. He's out on one of the islands hunting deer this weekend. And he needs some.
I only went up that way once. It was beautiful, beautiful terrain. Rode the motorbike all the way up to Prudhoe Bay one time from here in California, Kenai. That's quite a trip. Everybody who rides motorcycles needs to ride to Alaska at some point or the other. It's an experience.
How do you get across the water? Real fast?
I didn't carry anything that I wasn't supposed to be. We looked like it.
Wait till it's frozen.
Boulder rides those adventure bikes, man. Those things will go anywhere.
Yeah, I did. I rode the BMW GS, the R1200 GS. That's a motorcycle made for the blood and mud and the beer and all that stuff that you get into in Alaska. And you'll get into all of that up there. Trust me.
Something I've noticed in the last 2 or 3 molds that I got, especially this last one, it was really oily when I got it. I got it good and hot, and it was casting fairly well. But when it got really hot, I opened it up and let it smoke and get some of that, what was inside burned off. So giving it some air and then heating it up again really good, that really turned it for me. That was that was like that, half an hour, 45-minute period. Once I did that, once it really burned off and smoked and I let it open, then it started putting out really nice, clean bullets.
Yeah. You'll see that on a brand new mold. You like see that the guys are saying you scrub them and clean them and scrub them, clean them, spray them off, all that kind of stuff. And then put them on your hot plate. And I like to season my molds with the blocks closed because I want the pins and stuff to match up properly and so forth. But then about the last time that I do that, I'll open the blocks up and open a sprue plate way over, and then you'll still start seeing stuff come steaming up out of there. You got to give that stuff away to get out, because otherwise you're you're heating it up, and the oils that are in the cavities are just going to, go up to the top, hit the screw plate, come back down or something. So yeah, you do need to get them open.
And the last couple I seasoned, I did them on the hot plate, which I'd never had done before. I always used the toaster oven, and it worked fine. I just did them a little bit longer.
Yeah, I use hot plate. It works fine.
Give them a half an hour in the oven, and then just leave the oven door open and let them cool down. And I did the last couple on the hot plate and just took them off the hot plate and put them on the. I've got a big. If you watch the videos, well, I haven't shown it in a while, but I've got a big thick aluminum plate, and I've got my pots elevated up above my hot plate, and I just take it out of the hot plate and I put it on that aluminum plate, and it diffuses the heat a little bit faster, and it's worked really good, really good.
I put mine down on a concrete floor in the garage. It cools them down.
That's what I used to do. Yeah, that's what I always used to do. That last Lyman, the last Lee I got, the 6-cavity Lee, was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was it had a Shirley sticker on it, and it must have been old stock, and I heat cycled it and cast with it, and it was dropping nice bullets right away. And that's not common for Lee.
Was that new one you got for 9mm CW?
Yeah, the 9mm one. Yeah, that'll be the first one. Will be the next one. The next one will be the first one.
Well,
I go round and round with CW all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we know Walter, man, with chasing all the women he does. He's so hot. He just takes his mold, puts it right here by his muscle, and does that.
That's it.
And that warms that right up. His casting's ready to
go. I get myself into hot water sometimes, but not that hot. And you never know, guys. You buy used molds and you think they're going to be seasoned well and don't have to do a lot of prep work on them. And usually that's true. You don't have to do quite as much. But boy, I cast a Hensley and Gibbs mold that I just got this week. That's 80 years old at least, and it might be older than that. And it had been used. It was a good shape, but it was a stinker. It took me a long time to get that rascal up and, to get her to come to the dance and get busy. It did not do a good job.
Yeah.
Until I probably cast 30 or 40 bullets.
I borrowed a lot of molds from in the past, in the old channel, if you remember. And he stores his molds in 90-weight hypoid, soaking, submerged. But he's long-term storage. I mean, they've been like that for 30 years, 40 years. And it takes me a while to get them clean before they'll cast. That's why I like that mineral oil so much. All I do is
it comes off easy.
Yeah, I just hose them off with brake cleaner and stick them on the hot plate, and they steam and smoke, and I take them off the hot plate and I spray them again and put them back on, and I'm generally casting. They're casting good bullets, just like that.
Yep.
So it's no big deal.
Well, this Hensley and Gibbs mold was dirty. The cavities looked really nice, but it was grimy and gritty and dirty, and the handles were funky, and I had to take it all apart and clean everything up. So I don't know what was on it. It hadn't been smoked, it didn't look like, but it had something else on it, and it was just filthy. Got my toothbrush, black, scrubbing it off, and then it didn't want to cast for quite a while. It finally shaped up, but you don't know. Mold prep is a big deal, guys, for those of you who are beginners or budding casters. Having that mold clean and seasoned, real important to getting good bullets. You can just start off casting with it, but you might, and not do anything, but you might cast it 100 drops before it starts giving you good bullets if you don't do some of that prep work.
Yeah, and it's same, just like, you just said, you may say, oh, you guys are all wet. I just cast my bullets and I don't have any problems. And God bless you if you do, but you're going to find it's not the rule. It's the exception.
Yep.
Ball, throw us the link out there.
Oh, Ball. Hey, Val.
Val, throw the link out there for your giveaway, buddy. He's still giving away Kimber 1911 chambered in 10 millimeter. Very nice pistol, and he's raising money for our brother
Lakeview.
Lakeview Outdoors and his wife who's going through.
Has Tony been on tonight? He commented in my last video, said he'd see me tonight. I didn't notice him. Did I miss him?
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him yet.
Got Thor's axe out there. Hey, Dave. Man, there's a good group out here in this side chat. A lot of horsepower out there today.
Okay,
Thor's axe says, "Why buy bullets for pistol?" Yeah, you're right. Make
You
your
got to
own.
get to Gene's segment.
Oh man.
let me do one thing first, and then we'll do that. Y'all ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Oh,
Something else right there.
Not just that. Check Rebel out. He's high and tight, boys. He's high and
Yeah,
tight.
he is. Got the same haircut as that young in there.
See, if I didn't know Mike better, I would say that baby right there is enjoying being hugged up by her pawpaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Look at that face.
Look at that grin.
Just look at that face.
And y'all are saying she's not happy. She's got gas. Okay, whatever. Good picture, Rebel. Thanks for sharing that.
There's Julian.
by the look on her face, she doesn't have gas. She had gas.
Right. And you also saw that pad on his shoulder in case she yeah, there's that. So there's Mac Man. What's going on, bud? Good to see you out there and so many of you guys. We had 57 earlier and all right, let me do this. Okay. Let's do that. I know it works better if I got two monitors, but I don't. There we go. It's time once again for What's Hot Pot Got? What you got for us tonight, Gene?
I got something good tonight. I found this neat little case come slinging by me on the conveyor. And it is a 30 Remington. Anybody ever heard of that? I haven't. Now, CW heard about it, naturally. What doesn't CW know about? But the 30 Remington cartridge was created in 1906 by Remington Arms. It was Remington's rimless answer to the popular 30-30 Winchester cartridge. Factory ammunition was produced until the late 1980s, but is now a prospect for hand loaders. It's the parent case for the 6.8 millimeter Remington SPC. The bullet diameter is a 308. Base diameter is 421. Rim diameter 422. Case length is 2.06 inches. Overall length with projectile is 2.525. It normally gets a 150 to 170 grain bullet. Isn't that just cool? nifty, neato stuff I find.
That's a long neck goose, I'll tell you that. Look at that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was. I would be. I'm surprised that neck is that long because if I'm not mistaken, uh, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. About the same time, Remington came out with the 25 Remington, the 30 Remington, and the 35 Remington.
32 as well.
And I thought there were four of them. And the only one that's really stuck through all the years is the 35 Remington.
Yep. And it's a different case, too. 35 is a different case.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I chime in on that round?
Absolutely.
Believe it or not, the only two pigs, wild pigs I've ever killed was with the 30 Remington.
That's
so
cool.
I'll make the story quick. So when my parents lived in South Carolina, I used to get down there and hog hunt. And when I first started, I hired a guide down there, and I would go out with a guide. And he used to own a gun store, and they bought a bunch of ARs chambered in that 30 Remington because they thought it was going to be the next big cartridge. So he bought a few of these ARs. He bought a bunch of the ammo, and he would let me use his gun because it had a night vision scope on it. But that's what I killed my first two hogs with in South Carolina was 30 Remington.
And you shot it out of an AR platform?
Yeah, that's what it's called, 30 Ram AR.
Oh, no, that's a different caliber.
Yeah, that's a different caliber.
Oh, okay. Well, then my story sucks then. But
No, your story was good, but they stopped producing this in 1980.
Oh, okay.
And
All
now
right.
it's
So,
a-
okay. Well, then correction. My first two hogs I killed were with the 30 Ram AR.
But it's not a far stretch, though, Chris, because the Model 8 Remington was the rifle that shot all four of those cartridges. That rifle was chambered in all four, and they slowly faded away. It looks to me like that, and fluffy 10 millimeter. That's why so many of us reload 35 Remington. Why I got into reloading really because it was the only deer rifle I had at the time. But it looks to me like the 32 and the 30 would still be awesome. And I think the 35 Remington is closer to a 308 in dimension, the case, than the 30-30. But the cartridge Gene showed to me looked more like a 30-30 without the rim on the back of it.
That's what it is.
Well, that was their answer to the 30-30
Yeah.
by producing the 30 Remington. They just did the booty end of it different.
And the reason I say that is because of that long neck that thing's got, just like a 30-30.
That was common in the design back then. You look at all of them and around the turn of the century, the 30-40 Krag, they're all longer necked. That was the 30-06. That was the way they were, Even years forward, the 257 Roberts, the 6 millimeter Rem, those all have longer necks.
Okay, so there's no comparison to that and a 30-06 or
It's a lot smaller, a lot thinner, a lot less power, and loaded to lower pressure.
CW, am I wrong, or that Remington Model 14 and that Model 141?
Yeah,
the one that has the little fake case head on the side. Did they do those in 30 Remington? Yeah, I thought I've seen them.
30, 32, and even 25, I believe. Yeah, all four of them.
So,
another one, Gene, that you didn't comment about there is the 10 millimeter.
Sweet.
You cut that off and you get a 10 millimeter case.
Huh? Really?
Yep.
I did not see that. I can see that though. I homeworked just the basic information just to give to everybody. When it was first produced and how long it was produced. And only about 5 of these came through the machine. And that's the only time I've seen them.
They're not
Wow.
coming
Yeah.
much anymore.
Kind of makes you wonder who left them behind and why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think
One of
if, it
them,
was,
you know,
if it was a reloader, why
you
would he
always
have
lose a
not
couple.
kept them? Yeah, I
You always
guess.
lose a couple. That was the ones that got lost.
Yeah.
Well, they came from an indoor range, so they must have fallen out into the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah.
And once they get out there, you know, unless you're real slick with one of those scrapers, you're not getting it back.
That or they shot 10 rounds and could only find 9. You know how that always goes.
Yeah. Every time
Ronnie,
we go to the range.
Those two that get confused, Ronnie, are the 303 Savage and the 303 British. Those are two that get confused a lot.
Got DJ out there.
There's DJ Play Nice. So, Fluffy, if you decide you want to sell that, let me know.
Yep, I'll buy it. Jamie will let me know.
The Marlin 336 that I got a few months ago in 35 Remington has a weird scope on it that has a rhinoceros head printed on it, and I can't remember the name. It's out there. I've researched. I can't find anything. Like if it's one of those weird Japanese imports, but it is clear as day. It's kind of low focus. I mean, real nice T-post in it, and it's nice and accurate. Pretty happy with it.
Cool.
That old Japanese glass is awesome, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Okay, you brought up scopes. Have y'all seen any sales on scopes?
I don't think I have.
All right, hold on a second. I actually did some homework for you guys.
What a guy. Spend our money for us. I like it.
This is Graff and Sons. And I'm not sure that the sale is over yet or not. But they've got a sale going on Cytron scopes. Very fine scopes. They're not. I like Arkin because they're very good scopes. The glass is not as good as what these scopes are, but the price is so much better. But you can see.
Bubba texted me today and said Arkin was having 25% off today or something.
Yeah. They have
I
been
didn't
for
go
quite a
check it out.
while now. And you can see some of the lower price scopes here, 3x9x40 hunting scopes with different reticles. They're in that under $200 price range, but they don't have a adjustable objective, and that's this one right here does. Let's take a look at this one. $240 if I can work the computer. There we go. That one has an adjustable objective. I prefer the side focus, but a 4x12x40, and I'm sure it's second focal plane at that price. But that might be something some of you guys are interested in. And they also have some scopes suitable for long range, like this one right here, 4x20. by 50. That would be a good enough long range scope. And they have plenty of more expensive scopes. Y'all bear with me for a minute. I want to look at this. Not that I'm going to spend $850 for a piece of glass, but 40 by 45 ED. This is a competition target. And you see it has the side focus. Looks to be tactical turrets. And I'm sure at that price it's first focal plane. Let's find out. 1/10 MOA adjustments. Turrets are resettable to 0, protected by rugged caps. 30 millimeter tube body, lifetime warranty. Extra low dispersion glass. Nitrogen charged, but it don't say if it's first focal plane. Doesn't it have to be? I guess not. All right, there we go. Some of the deals I'm seeing.
One thing I did do today was whenever I go to the range, I always bring some kind of usually a 22 rimfire. So I have something I can plink with while I'm letting the barrel cool off or letting the barrel cool down. And I brought my heavy barrel 1022 this time. And I didn't realize that I had swapped its scope at some point. So it wasn't sighted in. But it sighted in pretty quick and easy. But I ran out of elevation at 100 yards. I was still about an inch, 3/4 of an inch low, and that Bushnell scope would not go any higher. So I checked my rings to make sure I didn't screw up and put wrong rings on it. You know, sometimes you can put not so much different brand rings, but different height rings of the same brand and miss it. And usually Bushnell scopes have a lot of range in them. But this is a 1-inch tube, 6 to 18 banner. So it's a cheapie, but halfway decent 22 scope. So when I got home today, I did a little bit of surfing and I picked up a Leopold steel 20 MOA rail and measured out and ordered 2 sets of rings to try and get that scope down as low as I can. So I should be able to recoup my elevation loss at the same time, pick up a little on the other side. And if you guys don't know about MOA rails, most of the time on any of our optics, any of our scopes, you have a whole bunch of adjustment below your 0 setting that's pretty much wasted. You're never ever going to need it because you never turn it down that far. So when you use a MOA rail, what it does, it forces your scope to look down lower so that you can pick up and use a lot of that wasted, not used adjustment on the top side. So when you get out there farther, I have it backwards on the bottom, bringing it down instead of up so that it brings your muzzle up. But you understand what I mean. It's never used because you never need to go there. You only never use to bring it up so that you can shoot farther. So when you pick up a 10, 15, 20, 30 MOA rail, that's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes of adjustment for longer ranges. So it's a handy tip. If you ever run out of elevation, you can switch to a MOA rail if it's a pick rail and get that back and be able to use that scope.
Huh. That's interesting.
Y'all say hey to Kyle.
Hello, Kyle.
There's Kyle
doing,
Lusk.
man?
Miss you, brother. So yeah, I have a 20 MOA on my Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor.
You're probably going to want it on yours, Gene, when you set up for the 1,000-yard, if you're going to use a Weaver style. You're probably going to want that. You're definitely going to want it because you're probably not going to have another adjustment in most optics.
I'm sorry, who's showing something?
I'm sorry. I thought
What?
I was getting it ready. I was going to say this is not a scope, but when he's talking about sights and glass and stuff, I found a really good deal that I actually purchased today. I was going to ask you if you want me to share it. To Reflex.
Absolutely, go for it, man. Then we'll do our verse of the week.
Okay, well, I found this right here, and I just had to buy it. I couldn't for that price at Midway. It's something you would put on a, for instance, 22 rifle or whatever, because it's not like Shake Awake or nothing like that. But you're only talking about another 20 acorns from a Amazon one, and actually, right now, this one on Amazon's about 180 acorns.
Far out.
Anyway, they had that sale today, and I'm like, I grabbed one. So I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but
is that 70 doll hair?
Yeah.
What's footprint on that, Hillbilly? Is it RMR footprint?
Well, it didn't really say. It comes with a Picatinny rail, and it didn't really say what the footprint was. I mean, I can scroll down here. Let me get over here. But you can see it really does not quite say there. Man, I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. No, I can't make this bigger for you. But
what's the model number on it? I'm gonna pull it on another site.
Hey, it comes with free batteries for life.
What's the model? I mean, go up to the top, Hillbilly, and give me the model number on that.
Yeah, I looked before I bought it. I wanted to know what it priced somewhere else, and like I said, it popped up to Amazon for about $170. And I know it's not. I don't think it's like a Shake Awake or whatever. And I don't know what the cut is because I couldn't find it. But I thought, doggone it, if you're not using it for home defense or something like that, I don't have a problem with going out and planking with something and turning it on, And for that price, for a Crimson Trace, man.
Yeah, CTS-1300. Yeah, that's a heck of a markdown right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. I bought, some of these on Amazon, and you're going to spend roughly, $40?
Yeah.
And at the difference in this for a Crimson Trace, I mean, if you don't like it, you give it to your grandkid for that kind of money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let them put it on a squirrel gun or something.
Yeah. Says free shipping too.
Yes, it was free shipping. I bought one, and it was free shipping. I think there was about 4 acorns on tax, but that was, I think 3 or 4, but that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally bought one that's heading my way. So there wasn't no back end deal or something like that, but yeah, that's at Midway. And like I said, I mean, I don't think I'd be putting this on a home defense, maybe, without a shake awake or, I mean, I don't know. I've not even used this. I'm just got it heading my way. So
It's
I
even
would
got a
definitely
side
be
load
doing a
battery.
review on it. Pardon?
It's even got side load battery on it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was like, doggone it, man. That's, I don't know if there was a misprint or what, but I'm getting one, and that's what they charged me.
Nice. Well, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll go ahead and take this off here, but I know it wasn't nothing to do with the deer hunting scope or nothing, but doggone it, that's not bad.
The only time I care about a shake awake is for like a defense. Other
Yeah.
than that, the vector dot I got in from my open gun, it's a manual on, but it stays on for 4 hours with no activity. As long as you're active with it, it'll still stay on. And when I'm at the range shooting a competition or something, you turn your dot on, you leave it on. You don't worry about it.
My dad says it's a doctor footprint, so it's a Vortex.
Yeah.
Vortex doctor.
Okay, I couldn't find that, but I'm glad he said that. I actually have a pistol mount for that. Then it's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, Gene. I mean,
my carry gun, bedside, everything that's around that's got a dot on it is shake awake. Or it's I've got one that's an always on that adjusts to the ambient light. I like that one for a home defense gun.
I might go see if I can grab one of those. GGW bought one. I need to talk about this comment right here, if I can right now, and then we'll get into our verse of the week. And Hillbilly, thank you so much for sharing that. That's
you bet you, buddy.
That's a good deal, and I think a lot of guys are going to go over there and pick one of those up.
If you don't like it, just don't curse me. I ain't even got mine yet, so I just bought it today.
I just Scott's been sending me texts, and he put this up, and we saw Val up earlier. So this is an opportunity for us to share some of God's blessings that we have with Tony and his wife. And I just found out that they've been at the hospital today is the reason Lakeview's not with us in the side chat tonight. It's generally always here. So we need special prayers for Lakeview and his wife. And if the Lord leads you, by all means, go share some of what he's done for you with good people that can really use it right now. And I'm sure more will be coming out. And we'll get on with the verse of the week, but let's share this one before I get into mine. So that link is in the side chat if you feel moved to make a donation tonight. The Lord spoke unto Moses, "This shall be the land that shall fall unto you, the people of Israel, for an inheritance." That was over 3,500 years ago. And I think that has some slightly political tones to it. But this is my thoughts on that. If Israel as a nation would go back and read the Old Testament and see where their boundaries are that the Lord provided for them 3,500 years ago and start kicking people out of there, you'll see peace come to that region.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, y'all know that we've been sharing with our verse of the week on the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 5. So we're up to verses 9 and 10. Verse 9 says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." Verse 10, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." When I read verse 9, and I know y'all want to think I'm just saying this because I'm from Georgia, but my mind goes straight to Jimmy Carter. Now, Jimmy Carter was a pitiful president, and I freely admit that. But at the same time, he spent his entire lifetime trying to make peace in the Middle East, fighting a losing battle because of the verse that Walks just shared with us. And if Israel had obeyed God, they wouldn't be going through any of this stuff that they've been through as a nation. But that's not what we're talking about. We are to be peacemakers and will be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. If you are trying to be a righteous person, live a righteous life, you will be persecuted. Jesus said that before he went to the cross. They'll hate you because they hated me. And if you think what they're doing to me is bad, they're going to do the same thing to you. And every one of the disciples, except John, died a martyr's death. But if we are seeking righteousness and we're persecuted because we are seeking righteousness, then ours is the kingdom of heaven. Comments?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't want to give up the next subsequent verses in that chapter because the rest of it it lays, I'll say it this way, lays further light on those who would be persecuted for following the path of righteousness. And that, I mean, that's, you keep going down in there, and that's where the phrase "the salt of the earth" shows up in this chapter. And you're going to be a light for all others to follow. That nobody else, that you can't be hidden away. If you're on that path, you're basically, that's the right direction we are to travel, but know in advance that you're going to get hit for it.
So I like what Bama Dad says, if we could be obedient. But I've always loved that verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers,
Mm-hmm.
for they shall be called the children of God. CW, your hillbilly got any comments about the verses?
No, they're good ones, though. They're meaningful and
I don't know. I mean, great verse. Every time I see this verse, "Blessed are the peacemakers," I don't know why, but my mind goes back to the outlaw Josie Wales towards the end of the show. And the old Western movie. Yeah, I mean, the people that's trying to do good in the world, ones that want to make peace, it's a blessing, because we all know as a person, an individual, it's not easy to do that. It's easier to take sides, or it don't matter if it's gossip at the water cooler or whatever the case might be. So for those people that even in today's society that want to make peace, that want to shed light, and happiness on, the fellow person, of course, there's a blessing that comes along with that. And, I try to say it most of the end of my videos every time, make somebody's day better, because, there's a blessing that comes along. Just being a peacemaker, making somebody's day better, and you'll be blessed for that. And I suggest, for all of us, including myself, to keep that intact and in mind every day throughout our life.
Yeah, and it seems if you're a peacemaker, I mean, that would, that kind of implies that there's at least two sides to some sort of a conflict, and you're trying to get in there in between them and set the story straight or set the path straight for both sides. Well, because there's a conflict, automatically that kind of means that one side dislikes or maybe goes so far as to hate the other side. But oftentimes when you're the peacemaker and you're in the middle, and both sides are going to hate on you,
Yes.
and so it's a tough row to hoe. And what we're saying here is that do your best to do that job, and just know in advance that you're going to take some flack for it, but the reward for everybody is out there for you.
Yeah. And it's not going to be a popular position, because it's easier to side with somebody regardless if you feel like they're right or not. That's the easy road. And I just seen Lakeview comment out there. Welcome in, buddy.
Hey, Lakeview.
And I'll get to that. But first, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Mario.
All right, let's go back up here.
All right.
We got a lot of great comments.
This is a good one in these times. I guess, it's good to talk about this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a
you
good
sure
verse.
do, Mario. You make everybody's day better when you say, hey.
That's just too cool.
Yeah, it is. And my middle daughter, her name's also Josie. And
I think if I ever have a son, another son or grandson, I think I'm going to name him
Sue.
Tom, Bill, George, anything but
Sue.
Sue. I still hate that name.
I figured you'd name him Sue.
Do what?
I figured you'd name him Sue.
No. I'm still here.
My name's Sue. How do you do?
Now you gonna die.
How do you do?
Well,
Good one.
We only had 3 daughters, but I mean, I was just fit to be tied. I told my wife, man, that's why we didn't have a son. That we had a son, his name's going to be his first name is going to be Chevy. His middle name is going to be Tough.
Like a rock, baby.
You betcha. And so
he always will, Dave. He always will, brother. I don't get to talk to.
You can't get that forgiveness unless you have Christ in your life. That's for sure.
Chad Kelly's out there. Good to see him.
Hey, Chad. Yeah, he's been having some rough weather out his way too.
About time to be going through the room.
Yep, we're coming down.
Yeah.
Now, Chad won one of his matches the other night, though. He did doing good.
Yeah, he did.
He's doing excellent now. And he's got a new core belt.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to get me one of those.
I love that competition belt, Jamie. I've been using it at the matches, and that thing is just so comfortable. It beats anything else I've ever had, besides the battle belt. Both core products, but absolutely wonderful.
Okay, who wants to go first? Let's just start at the bottom. Mark Thomas, what you got coming up this week, my brother?
Well, we'll just see. I got plans to go to a gun show local tomorrow. Who knows what I'll pick up? Maybe it'll be some trinkets or some brass or maybe a new toy. And then hopefully we'll get out in the woods. Hunting season's on here in Pennsylvania. It finally cooled off. I cannot wait to get out there, and whether it's get some squirrels or look after some deer, just want to be out there. So just been wonderful to be here this evening. Been a great side chat. They've been rocking and rolling. Great time here with friends. So thank you very much, and we'll move it on. See y'all next week.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me.
GGW, he'll be gone. I guess it is tonight. No, next weekend he'll be at Wanamaker's. He's doing his tonight. So
He's doing his show tonight, and then next week he will be doing his show on Thursday.
Yeah.
that's what I thought. So go ahead, Chris. While you got that mic queued up, we ain't heard nearly enough from you tonight. What you got coming up?
I got a lot of videos already uploaded. I'm just waiting on YouTube to greenlight all of them. They've been pretty quick here lately, so that's been kind of nice. Been about a 48 hour turnaround on them. So going to the range in the morning, hopefully going to get a lot done. I am so behind on stuff. And so, yeah, I'll have a couple videos next week for sure. And no Wednesday night live chat this coming week. I'm going to try to get something worked out for the following. And, man, thank you for the invite. I had a great time with everybody tonight. And always a good time hanging out here and with the side chat. So thank you. Thank you very much.
And I loved your hog hunting story, man. I don't care.
Me too. Good.
Yeah, we're going to have to elaborate on that sometime.
We could do that. That'd be a good Wednesday night live chat.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be fun.
So do I need to bring a live pig for the effects or something here in the background or something Wednesday night?
Chris will shoot it if you do. So we got there's Warsaw Patriot.
Hey, Warsaw.
Let me find that comment. There you go. Dale Pogue, happy anniversary on Sunday, 34 years.
Yes, sir. Well done.
Happy anniversary.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Walter. What you got coming up this week, brother?
Well, we got videos, of course, for Moldy Monday coming up, and I've got a couple new firearms I need to get showcased. I got that new Ruger RPR and 17 HMR, so I'm going to try to get to the range with that this week, and I've got a scope on it that I don't know is going to work out or not, but I need to go get that sighted in and try it at 1,500 yards, see what I can do with that, and I'll try to get some video off of that. And I got a new gun ordered. I finally got off the dime and ordered a new Smith & Wesson Model 57.
Nice.
I had been waiting around looking for a Black Hawk, and it's not going to happen in my lifetime, I don't think. If it did, I'd have one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel. So it's time for me to just get off the pot and go get one. So I'm working on getting the infrastructure in place, dies and molds, most of which I've got. I can round up a little more brass and stuff, but I think I'm okay there now too. So that'll be exciting. It's ordered, though it wasn't in the shop, so it's got to get there, and it's California. So when it gets there, it's another 10 days after that before I can even lay a glove on it. So might be a couple of weeks, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so that I'm excited about that, as you can tell. I've been waiting on that one for a long time. So that's what we got going on. I'm happy to be here as usual. I look forward to Friday nights all week long, just like everybody else does. It's just a real fun time for me. I appreciate the invitation as always to interact with this crew here. It's a good bunch of guys, and really side chat. I consider all of you folks out there my friends now. We see you week after week after week, and some of you interact with me on my own channel. So that's always a lot of fun. So stay with us, boys and girls over there. This is a good crew to hang with. So how about you over there next door, Gene?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh.
you. That guy right over there.
And it's always great being on here on Friday nights. I really appreciate it. I'm really digging showing the brass. I've got a little tray over here full of a bunch of it. I keep finding other stuff and bringing it home instead. I can't help myself. Let's see. Let's see. I got to work tomorrow. I'm gonna get to the range Sunday. Maybe do a little filming with a couple things. Other than that, man, I'm gonna start working up some load development for this thing with draped underneath on top of the American flag. It's going to be a very interesting project. Other than that, man, just thanks for having me on. It's been a great night, great time, great side chat, great panel as always, and I look forward to this.
Thanks for being here, Gene. We appreciate you, brother. Congrats on that Bagheera. Made in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Who would have thought that?
Yes, sir. Must
He'll
be
tell you
good.
what, I can't wait to see it up close.
Oh,
What
you're
you
gonna
got?
get to shoot it.
What you got going on, Hillbilly?
Oh man, oh, we got something going on. Oh man, I just look forward to Fridays. It's so fun. We got Georgia Shoot Connection. I enjoy you guys. I mean, this awesome side chat, great show. I want to thank you guys so much. And even after this, we got Gizzard Gary coming up next. So it's just, I really enjoy Friday nights. It's so much fun. I got videos coming out. I got a hurt foot right now, so I'm not been shooting any this week, making new videos, but I mean, they're all in the pipeline. We got them coming out, a lot of fun coming your guys' way. And Saturday nights at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, we had Guns, Beer, and Therapy. So I hope y'all can make it over to that. It's a live show where we try to have a best time as possible over there. So anyway, again, I want to thank you all so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. Always a blessing.
Thanks, man. We're good to having you here. Good having all you guys here.
Absolutely.
Well, I got a couple of videos in queue, and I've got a couple more with some incoming molds that I'll be making, and I'm sure I'll come up with something else. I tried to finish up that 44 Magnum accuracy problem video today, and I was able to shoot it. It didn't shoot quite as well as that really nice group that it shot with those 3 bullets, but it shot under 2 inches at 50 yards, and it shot under 6 inches at 100 yards. But that's really nothing great to speak of. It's got a 24 power scope on it to eliminate any shooter errors or accuracy woes that might be shooter related. So with a scope like that, you'd think you could do a little better, but that's about the best. So my buddy's gonna have to decide what he wants to do. I'm gonna put his scope back on it, and we're probably gonna hit the range at some point this weekend so he can re-sight it in and see what he's gonna do. But no video on that because I had too many people on the range talking and wanting to talk to me, and I just couldn't get any footage done. So That's that.
Make him do the walking back and forth to the target, though.
Yeah, I did. I would walk back and forth 4 times, and boy, that third time was really rough. And then the fourth time to clear the targets was a tough walk, but it's feeling a little better now. Jamie, what do you got coming up?
Nothing. I'm hunting this coming week. I got a ton of videos I want to make and need to make, and I will. Just not this week because I'm gonna be in the woods. And
There you go.
I got
hopefully,
another week and I don't know, maybe another 10 days before I can get out in the woods.
Make sure you take that camera with you, Jamie. We want to see that big buck out there.
I hope I get a good one this time. I don't know. We've got so many does around here, but that's what I got coming up. And of course, y'all check out. Is G23 still doing anything on Saturday? No. Well,
I haven't seen anything.
check out. Make sure you check out Uncle Jim at 8 and Hillbilly up at 10, and then check out the Trapper Sunday at 2 in the afternoon, and hopefully we'll have a Sunday night roundtable on the Scottish American channel. And so that's what we got coming up. Let's clear the deck for Gizzard Gary up next. And we hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, everybody.